Once the IAEA has verified that Iran has completed key nuclear steps, the U.S. and EU will put in place sanctions relief. While the U.S. embargo on Iran will remain largely intact, a significant portion of the sanctions relief will come from the suspension of so-called secondary sanctions. These are the sanctions that went into effect starting around 2010, which carry with them the risk of losing access to the U.S. financial sector for non-U.S. persons that engage in significant transactions with designated Iranian individuals or entities. Other restrictions that will be lifted include those on Iran's banking sector, energy sector, shipping, and automotive sectors, among others. One notable example here is the suspension of the restriction on the movement of Iranian oil revenues, which is a primary source of hard currency for the Iranian regime. Non-nuclear sanctions will remain in place, including those that target Iranian support for terrorism, development of its ballistic missile program, human rights abuses, and other malign activity. Individuals and entities listed under these authorities will also continue to carry secondary sanctions implications for those non-U.S. persons who might deal with them. Those listed under these authorities, including significant Iranian economic actors such as the IRGC's construction arm Khatam al-Anbiya and the Iranian Bank Sadarat, will continue to carry secondary sanctions implications. The text of the JCPOA speaks directly to the requirement to issue guidance or guidelines on implementation of the sanctions relief. In fact, it's not unusual for the Treasury to issue guidance on changes in sanctions policy. It's traditionally very technical in nature and aimed at a sanctions compliance community, notably financial institutions. Compliance is a critical component of the success of a sanctions policy, or in this case, of the relief. What's different here is that in the text of the JCPOA, there's a requirement that these guidelines be discussed with members of the P5+1. This isn't just a one-time commitment. It's in fact an ongoing commitment to consult with other parties to the negotiations on implementation of the sanctions relief and the guidance that's associated with it. Much of these ongoing consultations will likely focus on the commitment to implement the agreement in a constructive environment and to refrain from policies or statements that would interfere with the normalization of economic and trade relations.